8 now here on Kiwi. Time to welcome back T Radar to the show, issues of the day and whatnot. He's joining us via Skype video this morning. Good morning, T Radar.
Well, good morning to you. Issues, so many issues. Yeah. It's always interesting, having come back from 18 days abroad to see what's going on in New Zealand, because generally you don't get a lot of news about New Zealand when you're away. So you come back and you think something's happened, and you go, that's right. No, nothing seems to have happened.
No, nothing indeed.
Jobx.com. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, though the thing that did fly around the world like wildfire was this possum game that students have been playing.
Yes, it is. And it's every so often there's things about New Zealand that where it makes the news and you think, that is awesome. So there was two things. There was the woman who died from drinking too much Coke, and that sort of made the news abroad. And you went, that's an incredibly sad story and oddly embarrassing for everybody. Yeah. And then the other one was the possum story. People haven't heard it. There's a new game called Possum, and I don't know if it's new, but people are doing it. You climb into a tree, and you find yourself a nook, and you load yourself up with a great deal of alcohol and perhaps some snacks, and you stay there until you've drunk it all. And down in the Botanic Gardens in Dunedin, this is obviously causing some issues. Because, the last thing you want when a family is having a lovely picnic under a beautiful old tree is to be unaware of the fact that there are some students staying up there as long as possible without toilet facilities.
Yes. You had your student years in that part of the world, didn't you?
Yes, and a lot of it did involve the challenge to see how much you could drink. I think we had crate days. Those have probably gone a little bit out of fashion now because, no one tends to buy crates of beer. Terrible sort of things, really. And what drives it, I don't know, peer pressure, a bit of tradition, a bit of being 18 and very, very stupid, I suspect. But we never took to climbing trees. That strikes me as being particularly dangerous.
Well, one must wonder though, how big a problem it actually was, and how big a problem it actually is now that the police gave it some oxygen and talked to the media about it and said, hey, we've got this issue here, when probably it was involving maximum 30 students. Now, I would say that this will be happening all over the country and now around the world.
Exactly, it's trending not only on Twitter but on campuses everywhere. Anywhere where there's a tree, and I'm sure people, if they don't have a tree, will find something else to do, to climb somewhere. And young people will be young people. The thing about it that strikes me as being particularly stupid is that when you drink that much beer, you tend to fall down, and falling from a standing position is bad enough, but falling out of a tree some way up, and there's branches to hit on the way down. It's all very well for what's her name, Cadmus in the Hunger Games to perch yourself on a tree for a long period of time. Unfortunately, not long enough to make the movie anywhere near worthy.
You must have seen it on a plane or something, did you?
No, actually, this is somewhat embarrassing, but I thought I don't go to the cinema all that often, but I thought this is something the young people are interested in. I'll go and see it, and then I went and saw it and I went, wow, young people are really stupid.
Indeed, have you
but
seen...
the worst it wasn't only young. The day before, I'd heard a glowing review of it on the national radio, and I thought, well, if they're praising it, if they're lauding it, then there must be some merit to it. But the only merit it had was that it wasn't any longer and that it finished.
Did it make you want to take up archery? Because apparently that's what the young folk are doing now.
And what a wonderful hobby. Let's hope they don't do it from sitting in a tree while drinking 24 cans of beer. But, you always think if there's going to be something out there that young people can take up, there is a worse thing you can do than take up a bit of archery.
Really? I'm worried that now we've got some rogue young people out there carrying crossbows on a Friday, Saturday evening.
Well, see, crossbows is always that step up where, the crossbow is like the sawn-off shotgun of archery, really, in a way, isn't it? Yeah. It's got a sort of this romantic thing, but you'd never really know. I never known anyone who owned one. I was always too worried about anyone who might own something like that. I think, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
I'm sure John Banks would have preferred a crossbow this week, so he could have shot a bolt into the voice box of Kim.com and stop him from putting out yet another wonderful track. Never ceases to amaze and amuse.
Yeah, have you heard this track? What was it called? Was it the John Banks rap?
Yes, Amnesia. Yes, I've heard a smidgen of it on the wireless the other day. I never really got around to listening to the entire thing. But a lot of people want to put out a bit of a tune in the comfort of their own home studios, but not many people get the guy from the Black Eyed Peas to come over and add a few beats to it. So, it never does anything by halves, Kim.com, and I think he's becoming one of these odd New Zealand folk heroes.
Yes, maybe eventually. Do you think he's going to get extradited? Do you think he's going to be sent overseas?
Well, it looks like it's all sort of falling apart.
It does, doesn't it?
They've come out and at one stage they said that it was illegal, and then they had to get another, a different thing to hold and seize his assets by. So, no, I think he'll stay around for such time until he gets perhaps a little bit bored and sick of the entire situation and pop off somewhere else. He seems to be pretty happy here at the moment.
Well, do you think if he isn't extradited, should we give him some kind of citizenship, make him a New Zealand national?
And well, I don't know if you should use the word national and Kim.com in the same sentence. they'll be picking that one up on their search engines. I don't know, on some kind of an honorary citizenship.
Yeah.
Maybe we could bestow a sort of a welcome certificate upon him in a ceremony, maybe, and say, look, you've done some stuff, but you've added a great deal to the country, certainly more than a lot of people who actually do have citizenship. I mean, could we revoke perhaps someone we don't like and give their citizenship to him?
Over. Yeah, that's how it should work. Like
Craig, you can hand your pass over to Kim.com.
Exactly. But the big question is, who stole all the pies?
Oh, look, every so often these great stories come up in the country, and it's not I've just come back from the land of terrorism and in the States where everything's, there's this massive sort of scaremongering lifestyle and news going on. And what do we have in New Zealand? Someone in Oamaru stole about 500 pies. And how did the community constable react? With a number of sort of pithy one-liners. The best of all being, he said, when it came to looking for who had the pies, he said, I guess we should be looking for the person who also stole all of the tomato sauce.
Huh.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oamaru.
Yeah. Lovely.
Can't go past it.
Hey, talking about your trip there to the States and sort of the mood of the nation, where's it swinging, do you think, in 2012 with regards to the election?
Oh, look, it's very hard to tell. We were in everywhere from sort of liberal San Francisco down to not so liberal Texas. And it's the thing about it, it's like visiting different countries. We're in Texas and everything, they pride themselves almost to a point of lunacy on everything being big. Huge vehicles, huge freeways, 8, 10, 12 lanes, no footpaths. You can take your car to the mall and have it valet parked because, God forbid, you should walk the extra 80 metres into the place. And then you fly back into San Francisco and everything's normal-sized again. So, there's this huge dichotomy between, the people within the States. And I don't know, maybe the people we were talking to were perhaps a little bit more liberal because they were generally working in, the sustainability field. And they would say, oh, no, we think Obama's going to come back. And then you go to other places and only yesterday you see signs using the N-word, which I would repeat, but I won't. Just because it becomes banal. To refer to Obama on site, we don't support this N president sort of thing. And it's a fractured country, but it will be fascinating to see what's going on. Then you've got your big media drivers like Fox. There's always something scary on there. Tell you what, if you think your life is good, just turn on Fox when you're in the States, and I guarantee they will find something. And make a story out of something that makes you think, oh, really? Oh, that can't possibly be true. That's right, it isn't.
So even though nothing really happens here in this tiny little country in the South Pacific, you're happy to come back home and be here?
It's nice to be back. We're if the biggest story of the week is who stole a whole lot of pies, I reckon that's a great nation to be in. Of course, there are other, there are your various political stories and things, but you allow them to wash over you. Sometimes you just get back from being away, Wammo, and all you really care about is who stole the pie.